Jack Barnett. He says he's going to send the pictures in the morning.
Okay.
Look at. Watch your show, okay? Because I'm going live. Jack. One. Two. All right. Okay, it looks like we're live.
Hey.
On the Facebook. I think my internet is so trying to see. The internet is just really
Stormy internet.
not great tonight. Bali. Yeah, hold on. Okay. Yeah, we're live. We are live.
Live with all the things.
How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Yeah.
I can't wait to come to Bali. Get me back now.
Just a few more weeks.
I know. I want it to be now.
I'm going to be there in just like a week, right? Isn't it?
Oh my God. I keep forgetting that you're actually coming here first. Crazy.
Yeah.
We're going to have
like a week
so
and a
much
half.
fun.
Yes, Jack. Okay, honey. Either go to Daddy's or watch your thing, okay? Because I'm live now. Okay. Yeah. So London and then Bali, all the things, all the things.
All the things, creating all the magical things as well.
So it's like, what time is it there? Right
It's
now?
10 to 2. 10 to 2 in the afternoon. It must be like 10 to 10 there, right?
So it's, yeah, it's 10 to 10. It's my night.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go to bed and you are just halfway through your day.
Yeah.
So we've been meaning to do one of these for a minute and our schedules keep being crazy, right?
Yeah. Everything at the right time though.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Tell me the things. Tell me all the things, Leah.
Well, I don't know. You tell me the things. We have this program launching, which we're super excited about.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Inner Alchemy. It's going to be amazing.
So, yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, let's just talk about, because I think we want to, you know, I mean, I think that will spur kind of like, so we sort of have, we've laid out this program. It's a 6-week program with the two of us. And then we've been hearing all the excuses from all the people.
Yes. It's interesting because, you know, we're coming, I know that you don't get seasons, you bitch, basically, in Bali, but most of everywhere else in the world gets seasons, and our bodies are coming out of like, I'm moving into different seasons, and it's such a great opportunity to take ownership of self, to indulge in self-mastery, you know, interest in all things the physical, which then, you know, obviously heighten and add value to your emotional states, your mental states, and just self-ownership. Because, you know, that's what I'm about. And that's definitely what you're about, is just self-ownership in order to cultivate greatness, right? Because you can't have greatness without self-ownership, as far as I'm concerned. Like, you can't just sit at home and manifest. You have to do the work.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have to do the action. Yeah, and I mean, I think like this just seems to be like an overwhelming thing. You know, I mean, here's the thing I think with this, right? It's like here we are at the end of February. It's 29th of February, right?
I can't believe it already.
Everyone's, I know, so crazy. Everybody has they made their New Year's resolutions about how they're going to get on top of their health and their body. And so they've already made their resolutions and broken them.
Of course.
And everybody's back in the ice cream, not working out, not taking care of their physical vessel.
Drinking all the wine, all of the wine.
So it's like, it's a great time to be launching this program. Yeah, drinking all the margaritas. Oh wait, that was me last night.
Yeah, that was you.
But yeah, and then look what my body was like. No, bitch, no.
Yeah. Body was like, not today, honey.
But I just find it interesting. Stay behind me, Satan. Stay behind me.
Not today.
That was
Satan.
my body.
Not today.
So yeah, so I think, you know, so there's this, I think there's a big part of a lot of people that are, you know, resonating with our, hey Jack, can you please stop your commentary? Thank you. This is part of what we get this time of night, is we get the Jack. Absolutely. The Jack in the background. But yeah, so it's like everybody's, you know, at some level, I think people are like, really, it's a great time to do this program because I think everybody's really like ready to, I mean, people have failed. Let's just be honest. Like people have set unrealistic expectations for themselves, didn't fully energetically back themselves, failed miserably, and are still in the exact same place that they've been in for however many years.
For years, exactly.
And, you know, and so it's like, you know, people are doing that. Oh, but am I really ready? Oh, but is it the right time? Oh, but, you know, how hard is it going to be? Like, it's going to be hard. And
actually, Inner Alchemy is the prerequisite, right, for becoming immortal. Like this is like just the basic foundations of internal alchemy and understanding of self. So you're in a position to be able to build on that and then do the hard things.
Yeah. But I mean, I think just overall, it's like, back to this idea of only limitations you have are yourself. Your limitations are self-imposed. They are a prison of your own making. And so,
and then your body becomes that as well. Your body
I don't know, like I'm just
part of that prison.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just tired of the excuses. Like I'm just at the point where I'm like, I can't tell you how many people have messaged me and been like, I can't believe you're drinking potato juice. Like, that's so disgusting. I couldn't do that. And I'm like, one, you don't know what it tastes like because it tastes like. Two, like, I mean, literally people like, so, and I've had some people that have done it to me joking, but I have had so many people be like, I couldn't do that. There's no way I could do it. And I'm like, no, actually, you absolutely could. You could do a lot more than that.
A lot more.
If you actually decided that that's what you wanted to do. But people want the benefit
without the work. Of course, absolutely, right? Because that's human nature. But actually part of the Inner Alchemy program is learning the foundations of self at this level, kind of radiate that energy into all of the aspects of yourself. So even that kind of foggy state of mind where you want the things, but you're unable to execute or to, you know, put in the fucking work, to be honest, in order to have the things that you want, all come from a misunderstanding of foundational base internal alchemy. Because if you can get your base right, then everything else flourishes. Your state of mind flourishes, your motivation, your aptitude towards life.
Yeah, I mean, I think like that's part of, I think, the thing where it's like, people are like, oh, I like, my willpower isn't strong enough, I can't do it, like I've tried it and I can't do it. And I think one of the things, I mean, here's the thing with the potato juice for me, right? Like, I believe that the potato juice is actually what enabled me to be able to do the removals and get off the sugar, because it was balancing my blood sugar. So it's like, there's tips, there's tricks, there's tools. We have tools, right, to help with it. But if you're staying in a defeatist mindset that you can't, then you absolutely can't. Because can't 100%. Really what you're saying when you're saying I can't is that I'm not willing to.
That's all that they're saying, is that they're not willing to. We've just been good. It's like living a fraction of the life, right? And I know you do all the things, and you know damn well I do all the things. Like, I have to do to cultivate the life that I want to lead in purpose for my soul, like for the purpose of my immortality. Like, this is why I put in the work. And we've been given so much tools. Like, we are part of creation, right? Like, all of the same building blocks, all of the same materials, all of the things. Like, we are fucking stardust, basically, right? Going back to that, when you talk about your stardust potions. But to be made of such like greatness, and literally just be made of all of the things, you know, and not be willing to explore yourself to that density is mind-blowing to me. Because it is like living half a life, right? It's like living half a life. It's like wanting to get your mind right, but not wanting to get your body together or your personal health together. But actually, that comes from an understanding that those two things are separate. Like, your mind is only as good as, you know, the foundational health of your body. Nothing is separate. Your emotions are not separate to your physical health. Like, nothing is separate, right?
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to see if it seems like maybe the live stream isn't working. Can you look on your end and see if the stream is still working? My internet is so.
Yeah, it's still working. I'm on it.
Okay.
So it is still working. And Ashley,
Just mine, I'm sure then.
The amazing
my
Ashley
internet that's acting up then.
Yeah, I think
Ashley
it is. I think it's what? Ashley just asked, how do you think the instant gratification mindset programming keeps people from doing the work to be immortal?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is like, so it's interesting that she brings that up, right? Because this is one of the things that we're going to be talking about in Inner Alchemy, like the programming and the self-sabotage. Like the self-sabotage is real. Like,
it's so real.
Absolutely is. And so that's a big part of like what we're going to be. So we're each bringing some individual pieces into Inner Alchemy, but then we're going to be doing some joint stuff together where we're going to be talking about emotional, like we're going to be doing emotional clearing. So you'll be doing emotional resonance clearing with me. Michelle will be doing education and information on 5 elements. And then when we come together, we're going to be talking about programming. And yeah, Melissa, we're so excited. We were just talking about that. We were so excited that you joined.
Yes.
So Melissa's already done the thing and signed up for Inner Alchemy.
Amazing.
But yeah, I mean, like this is a huge part of the problem. It's like the programming does keep us small, but it is just another way that we sabotage ourselves from creating our heaven on earth experience here, right? Like it's one of the ways that we sabotage ourselves from realizing our full potential. And so yeah, absolutely, Ashley, like it's important to understand what the programming is that's keeping us from doing those things. And, you know, but this big part of what we really want to talk about is like, we are being programmed and poisoned by the food we're eating. So we have to like get a handle on that. Like that has to be, we have to have the education around that. And then, you know, it's retraining ourselves and relearning how to eat. And we're not sitting here telling you that we're perfect. We're not. Like we were just talking about before we got on this live stream that like I've been so like, since we started doing, so Michelle and I are going through the program right now ourselves. And so since we started doing like the removals and like the really honing in on the dietary stuff, like I have radically changed my diet, like radically. I don't have coffee anymore. I don't have dairy anymore. Like my diet is completely different from what it was even 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And so like last night I decided to like go out and eat all the things, eat and drink all the things. And my body was just like, no, like this is poison. Like I literally like was like in the middle of the night, I poisoned myself.
Yeah.
And so, but we're not perfect. We were actually also just talking about how when Michelle was here, we were eating like all the things in Bali, and we're probably going to eat all the things again.
Like all the things though, it was disgusting. I've never eaten that much in my whole entire life. Leah Steele is a bad food influence. I'm just putting that out there. Okay.
There's so many good restaurants in Bali though, you guys, like seriously, there's like an amazing restaurant on every corner.
Ridiculous.
But like that's to say that like we're not perfect, but we know what our goal is. We know what the ultimate goal is. We know where we're trying to take our physical vessel. And so then it's like staying in alignment with that, staying in alignment with where we're going, staying focused on the destination, and understanding, also, you know, that thing. Yeah, go ahead. Were you saying something?
Also, just like it's because we function on the ideal, like, and I mean, you speak about this all the time about this split personality and these split bodies. Like we only ever focus on one thing at one time. It's like, I want to be healthy. I'm going to do all of the physical work. I want to be in a good emotional state. I want to do all the emotional work. But I think that removes kind of ownership and the responsibility of having to do all of the work. You know, you can't just exist in one paradigm and expect that to flourish in all other aspects of your life, which is essentially what Inner Alchemy is about, right? It's about becoming the alchemist of your own paradigm, which we are anyway, but really deep diving into how all of the basic foundations add value to all aspects of your life. So you don't just end up in a place where you're like, I want to do that, but like you said, it's not the right time. Like your mind frame wouldn't even be like that if everything was in alignment.
Yeah. Well, and like, I just, you know, my whole thing is like, we are so riddled with disease, right? Dis-ease. Yeah. So we were talking about how you and I were talking about how the dis-ease of the immortal soul creates disease in the body, right?
Yeah, totally.
And it's like everyone has an ailment, everyone has a problem, everyone has an issue, and it's so crazy because it's like it can all be healed with food.
Basically.
And like food and alignment, like getting into alignment and understanding the elements, right?
Yeah, totally understanding. Total understanding.
Clearing the stuck emotion that's in the body. So like those three things they're the fix. But
totally.
We are programmed to turn to the drugs, to the Western medicine, to the quick fix, to the Band-Aid.
Yeah, to the symptom, to alleviate the symptom because it's easier to do so. You know, actually, I did a live last night in the Real Talk Wellness group about balance and about yin and yang foundations, like the philosophical foundations, right? Because when you understand those basic alchemical philosophies, like which we're going to do in Inner Alchemy, you understand which organs, which emotions belong into which of those either two paradigms, and then how to bring the equilibrium back, because we kind of exist in this static state of mind as humans, which makes us reach for the easiest thing, which makes us not want to do all the work, you know what I'm saying, which makes us want the outcome and not the experience. But by existing in that static state of mind, when it comes to your internal alchemy and your health, you're disallowing the body to kind of move with its environment, which is into greatness. You know, it's like you're just putting a plug in it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just, you know, I think when, you know, even if I just look at like, okay, where am I taking my brand this year? Where am I taking my life? And where am I taking my brand? It's like, I want wealth in all areas of my life, period.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I cannot sustain, I cannot sustain financial wealth without physical wealth.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot sustain physical wealth without spiritual wealth.
Absolutely.
Jack. He's agreeing in the background.
Yes, Jackie. Jackie knows about the album.
So Jack Barnett, please be quiet, or go to Daddy's. You can go be loud in Daddy's if you want. Yeah, so I can't be physically wealthy without spiritual wealth. And I've made excuses for so long about my physical vessel. Like, I have made excuses about why I can't and why it's too hard and why I don't have the time and why, like, I've had a million reasons why I couldn't do the thing. And yet in every other area of my life, I was absolutely practicing the idea of the only limitations I have are myself. And I think like I really began to see like just what a story I was telling myself when I started going to Muay Thai 3 times a week and like pushing my physical body farther than it had ever been pushed before, you know, like as far as like cardiovascularly and stuff. And being like, yeah, this is all, you know, and I'm like really playing around with like when I'm dying in this round, like, no, commanding my body to use its energy reserves, commanding my brain to stop telling my body that it can't keep doing the things. Hold on one second. Do you want to stay in here or go to Daddy's?
I want to talk to myself.
Okay, I know you want to talk to yourself. You always want to talk to yourself. If you want to talk to yourself, you can go do it in Daddy's, okay? He just
Jackie wants to be an alchemist. That's what's going on.
I was dying. I was reading something about his human design and it was just like the need to have an ongoing inner dialogue in everything that he's doing. And I'm like, yeah, except his inner is outer.
Yeah, totally.
Like, it's his inner dialogue that he actually projects externally into the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it back to balance.
Okay,
Leah.
Jack, seriously. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Bring it back.
All the things, right? But yeah, so I'm like, you know, and then I'm like literally going, okay, so we're only using like what 40% of our body's capability. And like my brain is sitting there telling my body, you can't do it. And I literally, like, I've done it a million times now. I do it all the time when I'm there and I'm like, feel like I'm going to pass out. I'm dizzy. I'm like, I can't go another minute. And then literally commanding my body, no, tap into your energy reserves. You absolutely can.
Yeah.
You're not even using your full power. And then seeing myself be able to do that. It's like, there are no excuses.
Mm-mm.
There are no excuses.
And there's no excuses
Yeah.
not to want to or have a wish to really explore the miraculous capabilities of yourself and your wealth and your health in all aspects of your life. You've been given this amazing body, amazing. Like, it's fucking unbelievable. And I don't know, just to not want to be the master of self is just something that I can't align with, girl.
Yeah. Well, you know me, like my 5-1 energy, I'm like fully like, need to know all the things about all the things.
Yes.
Talking to Alicia earlier today, my cousin Alicia, and she was like, told me about this whole new aspect of human design that I didn't even know anything about. And I like almost started crying. And I was like, I'm so upset. And she was like, why? And I'm like, because I'm never going to know all the things about human design. Like, it's never going to happen. I'm never going to know them all.
Yeah. It's so
like
vast,
my one line
right?
just goes crazy, like it does with all of this stuff too, right? It's like, for me, self-discovery, self-mastery, like it is absolutely my number one priority.
Yeah, definitely. And through that, you're able to exist in a state of limitless capabilities in all aspects of your life. And then you start watching everything fall in line. Like that mindset that said, I cannot finish, this last round of Muay Thai is not going to manifest like that because everything else is in line. So you're not going to have the pathology of that mindset.
Yeah.
Because I really just view everything as pathology of something that's not divine, which we are.
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting too, because like I hear people saying all the time, like they want to channel, they want to get connected to God, they want to get connected to source, they want to manifest, they want to call all this greatness into their lives, and they're literally dulling themselves with substance, either mind altering substances or food or and like living these completely sedentary lives where they're not even interacting with the elements, right? They're sitting in a house watching something on a screen and like completely have shut themselves off to the external elements,
which you are part of. So you have to have contact with, in order to nourish that part of yourself.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, you know what, this kind of philosophy also changed my health, because I think people look at me, they're like, oh, you're a practitioner of Chinese medicine, I'm a naturopath, I'm a nutritionist. Yeah. And they think I've always been ridiculously healthy. Now, when I first entered into formal study, and I've always been a geek, like since I was a child, it was like, I knew it was my purpose work. I was obsessed with herbs, food, all things creation and our relationship to it. But I had really bad skin. Like I had the worst skin you can imagine, like all the way through my teenage years, all the way into a lot of my adulthood. And that was with my understanding of nutrition and naturopathy and my formal studies. And it wasn't until I started really connecting with the whole philosophy of the elements and why these things were manifesting in my life, even though I thought I was eating all the healthy food, I was doing all of the juice fasting and stuff. It was because I had deficiencies in my body that didn't want the same things as anybody else. They didn't want to eat, all of the quote industrialized ideology of wellness. It was something very unique to me. So by really delving into, later on in my other studies, that elemental philosophy and different aspects of self-mastery, was I able to eradicate all of the physical manifestations of that, even though I thought I was living, ecstatically healthy. But I was living that concept from the person next to me and just wanting to do the same things as everybody else was doing and what wellness looks like to everybody else, and not taking responsibility for really understanding myself, you know. But the second I did that, I eradicated all the things. I used to have a lot of chronic kidney things. Like I used to have kidney stones all the fucking time. Nobody understood it. Just a lot of pathological things, digestive issues. And that was being a health professional.
Yeah.
And the reason why I started really delving into this, not just in my studies, was because, you know, it was an eye-opening change for my whole entire life. Just like what you were saying, you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like my quality of life is so much better. And it's like, and I think that the empowering thing for me too, like about working with you, definitely, which is why like I'm so excited to combine, you know, and I think we've been so excited to combine emotional clearing. And so for those of you that don't know, like Michelle and I have been working, we've created a new emotional clearing modality called emotional resonance clearing, focused on the elements. And the combination of like clearing the emotional baggage and the programming and the conditioning that keeps us that keeps us deficient in the elements. So the emotional stuff to support then coming in and making the physical changes as well. Like since we started working together, like it's probably the first time that I've felt like I haven't felt defeated. And even when I've like, you know, I'm not perfect. So I have times when I don't eat perfectly, or, you know, I have a couple glasses of wine or whatever. It's like, even when that happens, it's not the way it used to be, where it used to just be like, and then I would beat myself up, and then that programming and the emotional shit would kick in.
Yeah, the shame,
and
right?
then my body literally couldn't heal. Even though I was doing all the things I was meant to be doing, my body couldn't heal because it was literally beating itself up every time it didn't do something perfectly. So it's like these combinations of these tools is just so powerful.
Yeah.
To be able to, but it's the first time I've felt like, I'm like, oh yeah, I've totally got this. Oh yeah, like I have a handle on my health. Oh yeah, like, you know, literally like going off of coffee and sugar. I went off coffee and sugar in the same week. Like it was crazy.
You did. And it was
You know,
amazing.
and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but it also wasn't ridiculously hard either.
Yeah. Because you had all the other foundations in place, right?
Yeah. So I think like what we want to say is like, we're doing this program because we want to be your advocates. Like we want to help you through this. We want to like be, yeah, just that we want to help. It's so easy to do this when you've got the support.
Yeah.
And you decide.
And you decide. And I think what we're going to be really good at as well is cultivating that internal physician and responsibility in people whilst providing support, but not taking away their power. Right? Which is usually what happens when you're doing like wellness stuff. You just hand away the power, but this is about cultivating it in people. Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I think obviously as we move more into becoming immortal and in immortal, when we're really getting highly visualized and looking at people like specifically, it's not about assimilation, right? It's about individuation for sure, differentiation. But we're excited about Inner Alchemy because we have two bigger programs coming out, a mid-level program called Becoming Immortal, and then a high-end program called Immortal. Becoming Immortal will be 6 months. Immortal will be 12 months. Immortals, the big program is going to be next level. It includes 2 retreats, one-on-one work with Michelle and I over 12 months. I know, it's going to be so good. And then, but there is going to be a 6-month mid-level program called Becoming Immortal, and both of those programs are starting in May. But one of the things for Michelle and I is that we want the people that are coming into those programs to be we need to know that they're going to show up and do the work. We need to know that they're going to be willing to show up. And it doesn't mean that they're going to be perfect, but we need to know that they're going to be willing to continue to show up and do the work. And so we decided to do this program, Inner Alchemy. It's 6 weeks with the two of us. And it begins on March 20th. And there's a call weekly with Michelle. There's a clearing call weekly with me. So there'll be an intro week where we'll kind of go through everything and talk you through everything. And then there will be 5 weeks. Each week we'll focus on one of the elements. And then there'll be some joint calls between the two of us, but we will be doing emotional resonance clearing. We will be doing the education and the foundational pieces. And you will also get a nutrition plan for 6 weeks. So there'll be 6 weeks of a nutrition, foundational nutrition component. And that will prepare you, let you know if it's something that you want to move on with, and also let us know if we feel like it's something that you can move on with. So it is the required prerequisite for the Becoming Immortal program is to do Inner Alchemy. So $666, 6 weeks. It's but we don't have our lead page up yet. We are waiting patiently, not so patiently, for our photographs from our photographer so we could get our lead page up. And so until the lead page is up, it's $444. So $444, or there is a payment plan of, I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm pulling up my shared I'm pulling up my shared thing with you. Okay, so here's the link for, I know. I'm pulling up the shared. All right, Ashley's like, take my money. So there's the pay in full. The pay in full is $444. I just dropped the pay in full link in the live stream, and it's amazing. Melissa said I decide to do whatever it takes and trust both of you. Amazing. Oh, Melissa already knows the payment plan. She's like, it's $187 because I already signed up for that.
Because I did it. It's just such.
She did it like she was the first one. Yeah,
so
I was so excited, Melissa, when I saw that you signed up. And let's see, subscriptions. Hello, Jackie. Oh, it's $185 actually. All right, here's the link. This is the payment plan.
So
yeah, you know I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited for people. Oh, sorry, go.
No, you go. We always do this to each other. It's like, but okay. I'm just so excited to combine our purpose work, because I think it's powerful as fuck. Like, yeah, totally. Because you've definitely been an amazing influence on guiding like my life to where it is today, just over 12 months, you know?
Yeah, I'm so excited to, yeah, I mean, the collaboration part in and of itself, like, I'm so excited about, right?
Yeah.
But I just know that, people's lives are going to radically change. I mean, let's talk a little bit about that. Like, your toys are right there. Please stop crying and whining. You guys, this is just what it's like in the evenings in my house. So trying to find a time that works for both of us where we can get the most amount of people on can be challenging. Let's see, it's not letting me post this link for some reason. Oh, there, it let me do it, right? Did it just let me drop the link? Okay, cool. So that's the
we're actually going to be
link,
together, right?
The one that says subscriptions. Yeah, we're going to be together. We're going to be together for the first several weeks of it.
Yeah. A lot of it.
So yeah, which is great. And I mean, I think that's amazing too. But talk a little bit about, because this is one of the things that we were talking about, is like, this program is, it's not like conceptual transformation. Like, this program is even Inner Alchemy, 6 weeks, it will deliver radical transformation, like physical transformation, like tangible. If you come into this and you decide to like invest and spend your time, energy, and your money, right? And it has to be all three. You can't just pay for this program and not show up. But speak to that a little bit, Michelle, about like, what is possible in a 6-week journey like this?
There is so much possible, because the foundations that we are laying from the self-mastery kind of physical aspect allow you to get a deeply acquainted relationship going with your internal state, which then, you know, moves into your external, because everything is microcosm and macrocosm, right? But really understanding this, how your internal works from the space of the elemental view, what internal organs are in what, you know, elemental sections, what emotions fall into those sections, why you're getting pathology, whether it's illness, whether it's chronic emotional pathology in different areas of your life. Because just doing like clearing work or trying to work like in crown chakra or root chakra is not, without the understanding, the base understanding of those elements of yourself, is not going to clear anything. So this is going to take you through and help you understand and get on top of chronic emotional pathology and mental things that, you know, mentally project in your life continuously, continuous patterns, continuous health patterns. You are definitely going to be healthier in your physical state, whether that's weight loss, whether that is lighter. You would also, at the end of the 6 weeks, 100% come into more an aligned projection of self, because when you understand all of the internal organs and the emotions that go with those organs and why you're showing up in certain ways, and you bring all of that into alignment, everything comes into fruition. Like your emotional health, your physical health, your mental health, and then, you know, at the epitome, your spiritual health, like your immortal soul. Because at the end of the day, the body is, I see the body as kind of like, you know, it's the soul's villa, right? It's a villa for the soul, and I want my soul to be living its best life. So by the end of 6 weeks, your soul will be living its best life. You will be living your best life, because you will be emotionally, spiritually, and physically able to step into one purpose, greatness, and self-mastery, which is amazing, and that is guaranteed.
Yeah, to me, it's like the clarity that I have is next level.
Yeah, just from that
and
base
it's even like,
right?
I used to not trust myself when it came to like making food decisions either. Yeah, like I used to not trust myself when it came to making food decisions. It was like I trusted myself everywhere else, but I didn't trust myself to make the right food choices for my body. And just now having the tools that I have from you, it's like, even when I feel uncertain about, is this really what I want to eat? I have the tools, like the food combining. I have the tools like, okay, here's what I'm working on in my body right now, so I know I should be eating these types of foods. Or here's where I know my deficiencies are, so I know at least I should stay away from these types of foods. So it's been so empowering to not have, you know, to like have the knowledge and have the wisdom.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Jackie just wants to be an alchemist.
He's like, it's 10:30 at night, and we're supposed to be in bed, not on a live stream
what's
right
going on? Okay. Yeah, but clarity, I think that was a really good word.
Empowerment.
Yeah, empowerment, clarity, limitlessness, the ability to get it together. Get it it together, people. And then with becoming immortal really opens up a whole different paradigm, like of being able to step into your capabilities, you know, physical, all of the things. But you have to get it together. You have to just at least get it together from a foundational level of self-responsibility.
Dad,
Why?
I think you just reminded him, like, when he might go off and charge, he might go off and blind and go to sleep when you said that.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to be done in a minute. When do kids get the pronouns down? Everyone is a him. Everyone.
Everyone. And children.
Yeah, the other thing that's been really cool for me also, like in the journey, is it's like, you know, when I had, like last night, like went and like ate the things that, you know, basically poisoned myself and made myself miserable. But I had the tools today. It's like, so I wake up this morning and it's like, I know exactly what I need to do to get my body feeling the best that it needs to feel. By like,
and
okay, I'm gonna have this type of juice, and then I'm gonna put this ginger in it, and then I'm gonna.
Yeah, you know your constitution, right? From doing your elemental work, you know exactly.
Yeah. So even when I do choose.
Are you there, Miss Leah? I feel like you've frozen. Oh, you're back.
Yeah. Yeah, we froze for a second, I think. You were saying, you know, your constitution.
Yeah, because you know your constitution and you've done like the inner alchemy, which is what we've been going through, right? You've done work about learning to diagnose which constitution you sit in, how that shows up for you, and even like nutritional stuff. So therefore able to, like you said, have the tools to work through what's good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's been really awesome too, because it's like, you know, then when I do, it's like I ate gluten a bit ago. I can't remember, like last week or something. I needed to have some gluten, and we were at one of our favorite restaurants, and it was this French restaurant. They have the most amazing bread, and I was like, I'm gonna have one piece of bread, and so I had like one piece of bread, and the next morning I was just like, cool. So because I do the potato juice like every other day now. But this morning I was like, I know that I can just get up and drink this potato juice and it's going to help with inflammation in my body. So it's going to totally like counteract having that gluten last night. And like, I don't even feel bad about it. I was like, that's great. I enjoyed the bread. It was delicious. And now I'm going to wake up today. And that day I ate like green leafy vegetables all day and had juices and had my potato juice.
Yeah. Voila.
Didn't have to be a thing, you know? So,
yeah.
Whereas in the past, I would have like, then woke up, like, you know, I mean, it's so easy for like a thing to turn into a binge when you're like, oh, I had one bad meal. Well, I might as well have a bad meal the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. Or, you know, even like, okay, well, I fucked up. So now I'm going to eat dessert, and I'm going to have like, I'm going to eat 4 desserts, and then I'm going to eat all this shit. You know what I mean? It's like now, because you're just like, oh, I'm fucked, and I know I'm going to feel shitty for days after. So I might as well keep eating shit.
Exactly. Like the rabbit hole is open. Let's just dive into it.
Yeah. And so now it's like, I know how quickly I can tap back into my constitution, tap back into what feels good, tap back into what's supportive of me. And the other thing I'm going to say is just like my overall mental health and mood is amazing.
Yeah, because it has that effect. It's like that radiating ability, isn't it, of connecting all the pieces instead of just maintaining.
But
I mean,
I
how many
also
people
have very little tolerance for bullshit either.
but that's your fucking metal. We know that. That is your constitution, to have no fucks. Okay.
The more
Just
I
walk
embrace
it.
my constitution, the less fucks I give, the more intolerant of bullshit I become. So it's fair warning, everyone. I'm just letting you know.
Just do the things, people. Oh, Janet says potato juice. You know what? Potato juice is amazing. Like, if you can do your own, like, do your own. I might drop a link in here about potato juice. It's amazing for your liver. It's amazing for gut health. It's like, it's amazing. It's amazing for maintaining blood sugars. It's amazing for gastric issues like acid reflux, like people that live on antacids and PPIs, stomach ulcers, all things gastric. Like, it is mind-blowing. And plus it gives you good
my
skin,
liver,
for
none
me,
of my liver shit has been showing up since I started the potato juice. The liver is not
Exactly.
rearing its ugly little head any
No.
longer.
but
Got that
skin,
fucker in
like
check.
in all of its amazingness, with the physical things, potato juice, it gives you glowing skin, which for me is at the top of the list. Okay. So that's why I drink potato juice. It's great that it helps all the other things, but let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it really doesn't taste like anything. People are like, oh, that's so disgusting. It must be horrible. I'm like, it doesn't taste bad at all, actually. It tastes like nothing. And I put it in my cappuccino cup and I just pretend like it's a latte.
Oh,
it
it
gets
does
like
kind of look like a
foamy.
latte, right?
It gets foamy on the top. Like after you juice it, like right away it gets foamy. So you just hurry and I'm like, I pretend it's a latte. I just hurry and drink it. And then an hour later, I'd make myself a real chai latte or matcha latte. And I'm like, now I get to have the real latte.
Now you get to have the things. But yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing tool. And you get all of these tools in Inner Alchemy, people. Get in.
Yeah, these are all the tools. We're going to give you all these tools. And I think the important thing is like, we're living this. We're living it.
Yeah.
We're the, you know, in fact, like we're gonna be going so much harder than you are coming into Inner Alchemy, because we're going to be preparing ourselves to get ready to take everyone through becoming immortal, which is going to be a whole other level of commitment. But if this is calling to you and you're like, yes, it's time for me to take, like, are you tired of being, you know, it's like my biggest thing to talk about right now is, are you tired of being overextended? Because this is the problem with everyone. Everyone's fucking overextended. So in this one, it's like, are you tired of always being tired? Are you tired of your clothes not fitting right? Are you tired of always being irritable? Are you tired of being lethargic? Are you tired of not having enough? Are you tired of your energy being overextended? Are you tired of your pant size being overextended? Like, are you ready to take back control of your life? Are you tired of being dictated to and literally controlled like a puppet by a puppeteer with the food you're eating and the medicine you're taking? Like, it's like, to me, this is your body. You're living in it. You're like, nobody else is living in this body. It's you. And if you don't take control of it, like, it's insanity to let anything externally control this vessel that your immortal soul is being housed in.
Exactly. That is the line right there. It is for your immortal soul. And with all the things you were just saying as well, like, not just all the physical things with this program, but are you tired of living the same chronic emotional patterns, like, that you cannot break? The same bullshit excuses, the same lack of motivation, the same paralyzed will to execute your greatness in life.
I'm so excited to dive into like all of the clearing work around this stuff too. You know, it's like,
it's gonna be amazing.
So that, come and join us. It's going to be next level. And plus you'll get to hang out with us for 6 weeks, and a lot of fun.
We're so much fun and very inappropriate. So,
Yes.
you know.
If you want we can't even be as inappropriate. I promise you, huge inappropriateness inside the container.
Oh my God.
Entertainment for all.
Oh God. And we totally have to set up a channel. We have to set up the Hive Mind channel for all of the people in the container, because that, especially when I'm in Bali, is gonna be like a TV show. Like for sure.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, you can get in on this amazingness for like $400 right now, $444. Definitely within the next 48 hours, the lead page is going to be up. So there's limited time to save this $222 off the program. So if you know you're ready to join us and do this, do the thing, click the link. And so Janet was saying, I obsess on this stuff. I want to join just to hang around, y'all. Yeah, amazing. Here's the thing though, like I have been obsessed with health, wellness, and nutrition my whole life too. And I think that's my one line. I've always wanted to know all the things, but I always felt powerless. Like I was always obsessed. I was always learning. I was always trying the next new diet. And I would learn all the things I could about the diet. Then I would try it. Like I would read all the books and all the articles and all the things, and I would do all the research, and then I would go do the diet, and then I would fail, and I would just felt powerless my whole entire life. This is the first time in my life I have felt powerful and in control.
Which is amazing. It's amazing.
To me, that's priceless.
Entirely priceless. For sure.
Like, you know what I mean? To be in control of that is priceless. And I've lost 5 kilos. So
yeah, you have in a very short since I was in Bali, which was like not that long ago.
Yeah. And just keeping going, right? Like just continuing. So come and join us.
Come and join
Inner
the journey.
Alchemy.
Yeah. Exciting.
And then you may be required to get the Philosopher's Stone tattoo if you decide to come into becoming immortal.
See, this is how much we are on this shit, people. We are tied together for life.
We're committed.
We're committed. We're totally getting more tattoos when I come to Bali as well. Totally.
Yeah, well, we're getting one in London, right?
Oh yeah, we're doing it in London. We're doing it in a couple of weeks. Let's talk about that.
So, immortality or bust.
Immortality or bust.
It. There's no other option.
Nope. That's it. That is the only way from now on. That's it.
Yeah. So you're either gonna join us or you're just gonna be a mortal muggle.
Yeah, no, there is no muggling going on. Zero muggling. Okay, let's just get that.
It's your choice. Mortal muggle, immortal badass.
There is no choice, Leah. Who wants to be a muggle? No, we're done with muggling. Muggling was like so last year. There is no more. Okay.
Yeah, and the elements. Gosh, and look, like I literally have the book. I have this. Look what I have sitting right here. See it?
What is it? You're frozen.
Can you see the book? Am I frozen?
Yeah.
Am I still frozen?
You are frozen to me.
It?
You're frozen. Is that Nourishing Destiny?
Yeah.
Okay. Even though you're frozen, I can tell which book that is because it's one of my favorite books. Like, oh my God, the wisdom in that book just turns me on. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, oh my God, and I just opened to page 111. You cannot make this shit up. I just opened up to page 111, and it's the husband-wife imbalance.
You see? I love it. Oh, Leah's left. How can we get Leah back? How can we get Leah back? Let me see how to get Leah back. I think that she has lost connection. Okay, well, I don't know if she's coming back, people, but just stay tuned because highly likely we will both be back in like 2 minutes. Bye.